a serious problem going on right now in the marketplace, right? Tons of sales reps and appointment setters and closers are literally getting screwed over by entrepreneurs and business owners in the market because, I mean, let's be honest, entrepreneurship is kind of sexy now, and it's just so easy to call yourself an expert, and it's easy to call yourself an influencer or a business owner, and everybody knows that if they want to grow, regardless of whether it's the right time, they will set out and say, hey, I have this amazing opportunity, and they'll go ahead and start hiring. And unfortunately, people who shouldn't be doing it are doing a lot of things that are unethical, or the timing's not right. And now the people in the sales industry are the ones who actually pay the price and get screwed over in time, energy, and even worse, money and effort. And we're going to go into what those are today. I actually went to my sales team and was asking them before we had started working together, what were kind of the top things that were happening to them. And that was kind of like unfair and unethical, and having bad experiences and different opportunities, right? Because that's the hardest thing for most people in sales, is to find the right opportunity. And then so I decided to take it a step further, and I went on social media. Here's a screenshot of Facebook, where I just basically just asked my audience and said, hey, what's kind of the top unfair things that are happening to closers right now in the industry. So today I want to go over the top 3 things that came up that was like consistently, that you can tell is happening a lot. And not only going to explain to you what they are, but if you're watching this and you're in sales, or you're thinking about getting into sales, I'm also going to tell you things that you can do to avoid this happening to you. And if you're watching this video and you're not in sales, but you are an owner or an entrepreneur or want to become a business owner, please take note of this and make sure that you never do this to other people, because it's not only unethical and unfair, but it's not going to serve your business, and it's not going to serve your customers as well if you do this the wrong way, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not just about getting sales reps and making money. It's also about serving your customers, right? That's very, very important. So by the way, if you're brand new to this channel, welcome. My name is Starr, and on this channel, I teach things from sales, closing, process, the whole shebang. So I take complete beginners and teach them how to not only close deals that are high ticket, but also do things like cold calling, following up, messaging and outreach and all that fun stuff. And on the business side, I also help implement sales process and combine closures with business owners. I have a couple clients right now who literally took from 0 to consecutive $100,000 per month. Yes, per month, not annual, per month, doing things like outbound, hiring brand new beginners who have never done sales before, doing outbound and scaling it up to that level. So at the time that I am recording this, 100,000 is kind of like the peak that I've helped people get to, right? And my next goal of documenting on this channel is to finally go from 100K a month to the $1 million per month. And I'm a firm believer that I'm not going to teach on anything and topics until I've actually helped someone accomplish that or have done it myself. Very, very important. And I hate when people teach topics that they haven't done. So let's get into what the top 3 things are. So I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, right? Where number 1 being like the most common that came on the most. So number 3 is the actual product and service does not deliver results. I was actually really surprised when I posted and asked for feedback from people who are in the sales position, how common this actually came up. But even more gut-wrenching, one person who brought it up responded and said they were actually sold about $2 million worth of an automated investment business, right? $2 million worth. And nobody got results. Not a single person got a return on investment, right? So imagine being in a sales position and having to deal with the negative rap that you're seeing in the marketplace and knowing that they're not getting results. So, and this is actually very, very common. What a lot of people will do is they'll ride the hype train, right? You see this happening a lot, even in things with like cryptocurrency and things, there's just so much hype and talk going on it, and people will ride that wave regardless of their experience, and they'll want to get in an industry or get into a niche and monetize. And then so unfortunately they'll go to the marketplace, hire closers, hire setters and whoever, sales professionals. And if they're not actually good at what they do, unfortunately, the market suffers because of it. The customers don't get results, and then you, in a sales position, have to be able to overcome that. Now, this is a really big thing. I don't care how good you are at sales. There's nothing you can do to overcome a bad reputation, right? Negative feedback in the marketplace and people not getting results it's a really hard thing to overcome, and not to mention it's very hard, especially for myself, to sell a product or service that I do not believe in. And if no one's getting results, it is also unethical to be selling that. So how can you avoid this? Let me give you a tip to be able to avoid this if you're looking into getting into sales or getting into closing and want to make sure that people are legit, right? Because nowadays it's very easy for business owners and influencers to show case studies and proof, right? So if you want to go for an interview and say, well, hey, okay, well, we're promising this is your product and service. Are people getting results? It's very easy to be like, yeah, sure, check out all the case studies. One thing that I like to do that I always recommend, if you are really good at what you do and you have a good product and service, I would ask them for the most recent case studies that they have, right? And see how often they are getting case studies every single 30 days, right? Are these case studies that you're being shown from a year ago, from 6 months ago, from 2 years ago, right? Or are people winning from the time that they are joining the product or the service, whatever it may be? Are people getting results fast, right? Within a 30-day timeline. If someone's getting results within 30 days, like anything, and that's something that can be leveraged, that's not only a good indicator that what you are selling is working, but it also gives you power to be able to leverage for your follow-up game, which I talk about that in follow-up a lot here on the channel, and we'll do a video covering that. But that's number 3. And that's how you handle it, right? Always ask them if they have testimonials that are recent and how often that they are coming in, that they are getting testimonials, and make sure you're not just being shown something from forever ago, okay? Number 2, being told and promised that consistent leads are going to be coming in, right? Only to find out later that it's not true. So right now in the sales industry, a lot of closers are kind of riding the hype train for things like inbound, right? You know, everyone wants to be quote unquote an inbound closer and just have leads like coming onto the calendar, right? I'm not a big proponent of that. Like, I think in order to be a really high skilled individual to make a lot of money, you must have multiple skills and not just relying on inbound. That's why on this channel we talk a lot about outbound, because outbound is going with inbound is going to make it to where you can always feed yourself and generate revenue and be valuable to a business owner regardless of what is coming in. Now, the caveat to this is what happens if they don't even have leads? And this is happening to a lot of individuals. In fact, people that are working with me now and my own team has been burned in the past on this multiple times, and they're being told, yes, we have tons of leads, even if it's outbound, right? We get leads like all the time, and all of them that you can go and reach out to, only to get hired and then be thrown into a position where they are having to go and farm leads themselves, right? If you don't know what farming is, basically that just means that you just got hired for a sales position. The business owner is basically telling you, okay, hey, cool, you know, here are some leads, because they don't really have that many themselves, right? Once they're gone, they basically throw you into the industry and say, hey, go into Facebook groups, go connect with people, or go send cold DMs to people. Go and search on Google and find stuff yourself, right? Essentially, the business owner is just being lazy and not having somebody else on their team do the research, and they're making the sales reps do it, which is not the sales reps' job to do so. So a lot of people are just getting sick and tired of this happening to them, and their guard is up because they keep being promised that, oh, we're going to get inbound, right? And then it doesn't exist, right? Or, hey, we're going to have leads that we can go and do outbound, and then, oh, well, all of a sudden you're being told to be able to farm leads, right? So how can you alleviate this, right? Unfortunately, it's really hard, especially if you're in an interview process, to go and just ask somebody like for proof. I mean, I guess you could. If you know you've been burned by this in the past and your guard's kind of up and you just kind of have like a high trust thing, you can literally say, hey, listen, I've been in tons of opportunities. I've been screwed over before. I was told this, and this, it didn't happen. I mean, can you at least just show me? Right? If you've been burned in the past, there's nothing wrong with asking. But one thing that you can do is always ask them if they know their metrics, right? Where are the leads coming from, right? Are these people actually spending money on ads? Where are they sourcing the leads from? And how often are they actually getting it? And do they know their numbers, right? If you are ever interviewing to be hired from a business owner and you ask them for their metrics or their KPIs, which stands for key performance indicators, if they can't tell you hey, out of this many leads that we get, here's how many booked appointments we get. Out of this many booked appointments, here's how much, we're closing. And, if leads coming in from X source, this percentage is coming in from whatever, right? If you're in an interview process and they're like, oh yeah, well, we'll show you that later. If they can't tell you that information then or get it before you actually get hired, I honestly wouldn't take the position, right? That would be a huge red flag and can keep you from actually getting burned, right? So that was number 2. Now, number 1, the top biggest thing that is happening right now that is very unfair and unfortunately a major issue right now in the marketplace when it comes to closers and sales professionals is not having actual training in place and just being thrown to the wolves, right? So people are literally starting businesses, becoming a business owner, saying, okay, cool, I want to be a coach, or I want to have an agency, or I want to do, e-com, whatever it is. And they're, instead of just becoming an expert and leveling up their skill, they just hire people and then say, okay, cool, I'll pay you a commission, right? Let me give you an example. Like right now, industry that I know nothing about. Let's say, okay, cool. All of a sudden, I'm going to teach people how to build a automotive shop and kill it. It's going to be virtual. You know what? I'm going to sell it for $10,000, right? On the spot. Cool. Day 1. Yay. Guess what? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to go online, set up my LLC, and I'm going to post a closing opportunity and tell you guys, I don't know, I'll make it sexy. 25%, right? Would you like 25% of $10,000? Oh, amazing. Great. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. We'll be able to get leads, yada, 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 right? No training, no proof of concept, nothing, and then just hire, and then now you go and throw them to the wolves without training. And so, again, how can you avoid this? Not only asking if they have training, but also asking if they have anything recorded. This is very, very key, right? So my team and the teams of other companies that I go and train, very, very important, okay? There's a difference between just doing sales training, like the trainings that I have here on my YouTube channel. If you go to my playlist and hit high ticket sales, actually break down the entire 8 steps. That's the exact same training, sales training, that I use for my team and other people's teams, right? Now, just that training alone is not as powerful as actually having recorded calls, right? So literally, if you're being interviewed for a sales position, ask them, well, hey, do you guys have anything to set you up for success? Do you have any recordings I can listen to? If it's outbound, do they have recordings of the outbound process? Do they have recordings of stuff actually being closed, whether it's by the business owner, right? There must be some kind of proof of concept and recordings along with sales training to set you up for success, right? Because if you think about it, what do the pros do in sports, right? What does Tom Brady do before each and every single game to prepare, right? Besides just the practice on the field, right? Now in sales, what's the practice on the field? Actually being on calls and having conversation. Practice is important, right? But people in sports always go and review the tape. You must have tape to review, right? Imagine being able to listen to calls while having it in conjunction with actual training, right? So that's how you alleviate that. Make sure that they have training and everything. So for example, literally last week, I had a training call with a bunch of people on where we recorded, they sent over the recordings and we broke it down, and I gave feedback on that one, on one training. This individual went back, rewatched the training, and put notes at each timestamp, went and implemented it, and check out this screenshot. Literally double closed today, $20,000 paid in full, 2 by 10K payments thanks to you, right? So essentially, a 20K paid in full, 2 payments of 10K, that's $40,000, but first payment of 10K was collected. So in one day, this individual, just from having one call broken down and listening and getting trained on the stuff that he recorded, was able to go and adapt literally days later and collect $30,000 in revenue. And next month's going to have another 10K of the owed to the 40K contract. And based off of his commissions, in that one day, he made $5,000 in personal commissions. Now, is the business owner happy? Absolutely. That's $40,000 is going to be collected overall, right? And is the sales rep happy? Of course. In one day, $5,000. That's the ideal situation that most people in sales want to go and attain to, but that never would have happened if he was not able to actually have the call listened to and broken down on top of sales training. So super powerful and important to have that. Now, with that being said, I've gotten a lot of feedback from people, not only on the channel and other social media, but people were like, man, I would really like to be able to hear and see the calls done live when it comes to outbound and high ticket sales. So what I decided to do was, instead of me just doing it with my team, each and every month, I'm actually going to have just a collective group of people get together completely for free, especially if you're in sales now or looking to get into sales. And we're going to be playing actual calls from our team, right, in a private setting over Zoom, so that you guys can see and listen and see what the process would be like of breaking down actual calls, so that you guys can get value and learn sales the right way by reviewing the tape. If you guys would like to join that, I'm actually having coming up recently this month. The first one's going to be on June 30th. Coming up. If you want to attend that, just go down below the comments of this video and type in sales training, and I'll send you guys over a link to where you guys can join the VIP list, where we're going to actually get you the Zoom link, notify you every single time we do these trainings. I might stream it in my free Facebook group. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% positive if I'm going to do a replay or not. But if you do want to attend that, make sure you put in sales training below, so you can attend these trainings and listen to live call reviews and get value each and every month. Because I'm getting a lot of great feedback and people closing deals, and that's what it's all about. Now, if you found this valuable, make sure that you please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos like this. I may even take recordings from some of the trainings we do behind the scenes and start throwing it up here for you guys on YouTube as well. And then if you guys ever want to actually be on the trainings live, obviously you can just join the VIP list and hop on whenever we do these amazing trainings each and every month. But those are the top 3 things that came back from when I asked everyone on social media that's happening. And my goal is for you to, if you're trying to get into sales, learn from that and not go and make that same mistake. So before you just hop on an opportunity because it's just so fruitful of them promising you X amount of commissions on this amount of packages, please do your due diligence and don't be lazy. Very, very important. It's okay to not jump on the very first opportunity that comes at you, right? It's okay to interview 3, 4, 5, or even 10 people and find the right one that's going to work best for you and your needs, and make sure you're doing proper research to make sure that they are actually an expert at what they do. Are they actually delivering results so it makes your life easy? Because no one wants to sell a product that they don't believe in. And more importantly, make sure that they not only have recorded calls, but sales training and leads on a consistent basis just handed to you. You should not ever be thrown into a position where you have to go and find leads on your own. That is not your job. It is the business owner's role and responsibility, or the role of the business owner to hire somebody else to go and get the leads for you to thus go and reach out to. I have tons of clients who do that, where they just have actual individuals go and get leads themselves. They hand them over to the sales reps. The sales rep will go pick up the phone and dial, but you should not have to do that yourself. It's not your role. It's not your job. If you get thrown into that position, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And by the way, if anything else besides this has happened to you that is unfair, also let me know in the comments. Share with everyone so people can be aware of what is happening in the industry. Now, one final thought that really grinds my gears, okay, that I want to throw out there that is happening that is also extremely unethical and really pisses me off, if I'm just being honest with you, right? There are people who are posting job opportunities out there and saying, hey, we're looking for sales reps or we're looking for closers. And then you go and you hop on the call, you learn about the opportunity. Then they ask you, well, do you have any training, right? Have you been trained before? And then you say no. So they say, okay, one of 2 things will happen. In order for you to get the job, you must either buy the course that they are selling so you can understand it, right? So imagine that you're getting a $5,000 program or a $10,000 program, and they say, okay, cool. Well, hey, you have no training and you haven't seen our program. In order to get this opportunity, you must buy the program first, right? So now that poor rep who is there to get hired for a position now must spend money to buy the course rather than just getting access to it to learn it for free, which makes 0 sense, right? And then number 2, if you say no to training, they're saying, oh, okay, well, before you can come onto the team, you must purchase this training, right? Listen to me. If you are watching this channel, you should not have to get hired for an organization and buy their training. Okay, let me say it again. If they ask you to pay for training, do not do it. It is highly unethical, and it's a bunch of BS, and it really pisses me off because it happens way more than you think. And it's a tactic that a lot of people are using, saying, oh yeah, we need reps, and then come buy my shit, right? It's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's very unethical of the business owner. And if you're watching this and you were one of those business owners, shame on you. Literally, shame on you. That is not okay. So I'm just sick and tired of this happening in the marketplace and people who don't know any better, who are brand new, just looking for opportunity to put in work, right? To put in work and to grow and to make money, literally getting scammed by people who want to be unethical. So please, I hope that is not you. Hope this was valuable to you guys. Again, if you like this type of content, want me to keep going, let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Final words, put in sales training below if you want to attend the training coming up on June 30th. And if you do, I'll see you on Zoom. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you on the next one.